You may think your kitchen is safe, your meals are safe, even your healthy choices are safe. But what if I told you some of the most common foods during pregnancy are the exact ones that carry hidden risks nobody warns you about early enough? If you are pregnant or planning to be, listen very carefully. This is not fear. This is something your doctor should have explained earlier. And the most surprising risk? It might already be in your fridge. Imagine doing everything right, eating clean, avoiding junk, and still unknowingly choosing one food that could quietly increase risk without a single warning sign. Before you take your next bite today, watch this until the end, because number one will completely change how you look at pregnancy food safety. I'm going to walk you through something very important. Foods many pregnant women believe are completely harmless, but medically, they can carry hidden risks if they are not handled the right way. This is not about fear. It's not about making you anxious. It's about awareness, because when you understand what's actually happening inside the body, you can make choices that protect both you and your baby. Most people are never told this during routine prenatal checkups. And that's exactly why confusion spreads so easily online. Let's clear up some of the most dangerous misconceptions together, step by step. Because in my experience, the biggest risks don't come from obvious bad foods. They come from the ones people assume are perfectly safe. This one mistake is actually extremely common, and many pregnant women don't even realize they are doing it. And as we go deeper into this list, I want you to remember something. Number one might already be sitting in your fridge right now. Food myth number one, raw orange juice, unpasteurized juices. Many people assume that if something is fresh, it automatically means it's safe, especially when it comes to juice, like freshly squeezed orange juice or cold-pressed drinks. But medically, that assumption is not always correct. Unpasteurized juices can sometimes carry harmful bacteria that are normally removed during pasteurization, and during pregnancy, the body becomes more sensitive to these risks than usual. Now, I want to be very clear. This doesn't mean juice itself is bad. It means the way it is prepared matters more than people realize. This is one of the most misunderstood healthy drinks during pregnancy. Because it looks clean, fresh, and natural, most people never question it. But you'll want to check labels more carefully after hearing this. In many cases, the difference between safe and risky isn't the fruit itself. It's whether the juice has been properly pasteurized or not. And this is where small details become extremely important. A simple label on a bottle can completely change the level of risk involved. So even something that looks completely natural, even something marketed as healthy, doesn't always mean it is safe for pregnancy. And this is just the beginning, because the next food is something almost everyone believes is harmless, but isn't always as safe as it seems. Food myth number two, soft cheeses, brie, camembert, etc. Soft cheeses like brie, camembert, and similar varieties are often seen as gourmet foods, something elegant, harmless, even a safe indulgence during pregnancy. But medically, the concern is not about the cheese itself being bad. It's about how it is made and whether it is pasteurized. Some soft cheeses, especially those made from unpasteurized milk, can carry bacteria such as listeria, which is a particular concern during pregnancy. Now I want to emphasize something very important here. This does not mean all soft cheeses are dangerous. It means you need to understand the difference between pasteurized and unpasteurized versions. This surprises most expecting mothers when they first hear it, because it's commonly served in restaurants without detailed explanation. And restaurant menus rarely make it clear whether the cheese is pasteurized or not. This is where most confusion happens. A food looks safe, tastes normal, and is widely served, so people assume it's automatically safe in pregnancy. But that assumption can be misleading. You need to know how to identify safe versions and when to ask questions about preparation. Because sometimes, one bite in the wrong form could matter more than people think. And the next food on this list is even more surprising because it's something many people don't even consider risky at all. Food myth, number 3, sushi and raw fish. Sushi is one of the most commonly craved foods during pregnancy. Many women even say their cravings for it feel stronger during this time. But here's what needs to be clearly understood from a medical perspective. Sushi that contains raw fish can sometimes expose the body to parasites or bacteria. And during pregnancy, the immune system naturally behaves differently, which makes food safety even more important than usual. Now, I want to be very careful with how I say this. It is not about fear, and it is not about completely removing enjoyment from your diet. It is about safe preparation and making informed choices. This is one of the biggest pregnancy cravings debates I see discussed everywhere. And there is a lot of confusion online about it. So let me be very clear on what is actually safe. Cooked sushi options, or sushi made with fully cooked seafood, are generally considered safer alternatives. And in many cases, pregnant women don't realize they still have options. They assume it's either all or nothing. But that is not true. You don't have to give it up completely to stay safe. It's about choosing the right version. So if you've been avoiding it completely, or if you've been unsure what to do, there's actually a safer way to enjoy this craving without unnecessary risk. And the next food might surprise you even more, because it's something most people eat every day without ever questioning it during pregnancy. Food myth number 4, deli meats and processed cold cuts. Cold cuts and deli meats are some of the most commonly consumed foods in everyday life. Sandwiches, wraps, quick meals, many people eat them without a second thought. But during pregnancy, these foods deserve a closer look. The concern is not the meat itself being inherently dangerous. It is how it is stored, handled, and consumed, especially when eaten cold and ready to eat. Some deli meats can harbor bacteria if they are not properly heated before consumption. And this is where many misunderstandings happen. This is in many everyday sandwiches you see at home, work, and restaurants. It's so common that most people never even question it. But the real question is, most people never reheat it? Should they? From a medical perspective, heating deli meats until they are steaming hot can significantly reduce potential risk. But many people are never told this simple step, and so they assume convenience equals safety. That assumption is where the problem begins. Because pregnancy is not about eliminating every food, it is about understanding how small preparation changes can make a big difference. So if you've been eating cold sandwiches without thinking twice, this is one of the easiest risks to overlook. And the next food might surprise you even more, because it's something people think is completely harmless, even healthy. But it's not always as simple as it looks. Food myth number 5, herbal teas and natural remedies. One of the most misunderstood areas in pregnancy nutrition is the idea that if something is natural, it must automatically be safe. But medically, that is not always true. Herbal teas and natural remedies are often seen as gentle, healthy alternatives to medication. Many people use them for relaxation, digestion, or sleep. However, some herbs can have active biological effects on the body. And during pregnancy, those effects matter more than people realize. For example, certain herbs may influence hormone levels or uterine activity. That does not mean all herbal teas are unsafe. It means they are not all the same. And they should not all be treated as automatically harmless. This is where many people get confused during pregnancy. Because it comes from nature, it feels safe, but that is not always the full picture. Even wellness products marketed as gentle can sometimes be misleading. The biggest issue is not intentional harm. It is assumption. People assume that if it is sold in a wellness store labeled organic or used traditionally for years, then it must be safe in every situation. But pregnancy changes how the body responds to certain compounds, and that is why caution matters. Always check before assuming safety, especially when it comes to concentrated herbal blends or supplements. So the rule is simple. What's labeled natural may still need caution. And now that we've gone through all 5 myths, the final part will bring everything together. And what I'm about to tell you is what every pregnant woman should remember daily. Let me be very clear about something important before we move to the end of this discussion. This is not about fear. It is not about avoiding every food or creating anxiety around eating during pregnancy. It is about informed decisions based on how the body actually responds during this time. Because pregnancy is one of the most sensitive and important periods in a person's life. And small choices can carry more significance than people often realize. Engagement phrases, natural doctor delivery. If you remember nothing else from this video, remember this. Awareness is your strongest form of protection, not restriction. And in nutrition, every choice adds up over time. Many of the foods we discussed today are not bad foods. They are simply foods that require better understanding, proper preparation, or careful selection. And once you understand that difference, you are no longer guessing, you are making informed decisions. This is the real goal. Not fear, not restriction, but clarity. And I want you to remember something very important. You are not just eating for yourself anymore. You are eating for two lives. And that awareness alone can change how you approach every meal, every choice, every day. So as we move into the final part of this video, I want you to take this with you. Knowledge is what turns uncertainty into confidence. And now, let's bring everything together. Now let me give you something very simple, but extremely important. A daily safety rule you can actually use in real life without overthinking it. This is not complicated. It is not overwhelming. It is just awareness in action. Here is your basic safety checklist during pregnancy nutrition. First, check if the food is pasteurized. Second, avoid raw or undercooked animal products whenever possible. Third, reheat cold meats properly until they are steaming hot. Fourth, be cautious with herbal supplements or concentrated natural remedies. Fifth, when you are unsure, always ask a healthcare provider before assuming it is safe. Save this mentally. It could help you at any time, in any situation. These are not complicated rules, but they are powerful habits. And simple habits often make the biggest difference in safety. You do not need perfection during pregnancy. You do not need to be afraid of every meal. You just need awareness, consistent, calm, informed awareness. And that alone is enough to significantly improve how confidently you make food choices. So when you look at this checklist, understand that this is not about restriction. It is about protection through simple understanding. Because this one checklist alone can completely change how you approach your daily choices. If this video helped you understand even one risk that you were not aware of before, then honestly, it has done its job. Because the goal was never to overwhelm you. It was never to make pregnancy feel complicated or stressful. It was to bring clarity where there is often confusion. Pregnancy nutrition does not need fear. It needs understanding. It needs simple, clear information that you can actually use in real life. And I want to remind you again, most of the foods we talked about today are not dangerous in themselves. They only become a concern when we misunderstand how they are prepared or how they affect the body during this time. So now I want to hear from you. Which of these surprised you the most? Was it the juices, the cheeses, or something else entirely? And did you expect number 3 to be that important? Or was that something completely new to you? Let me know in the comments what you would like me to explain next. Because the goal is not just to inform you once. It is to continue guiding you with clear, reliable information whenever you need it. And I would also genuinely appreciate your feedback on how this was explained. Especially the way I structured the phrases and direct messages throughout this video. Did they feel clear and helpful to you? Did they make the information easier to follow? Or would you prefer a different style, maybe slower, more detailed, or more simplified for future explanations? Your feedback helps improve how this information is shared so it becomes more useful and easier to understand for everyone. And if you believe this could help another expecting mother, please share it. Because awareness is not just information, it is protection. And sometimes the right information at the right time can make all the difference. If you found this video helpful, please share it with your friends and family and leave a comment to tell me what you learned. Your support goes a long way in spreading the message and growing this community. Thank you and see you soon.